Greetings, everyone. Well, September has arrived. It's Thursday, September the 1st. It should be most interesting to see what may or may not happen this month. So, today's video is just going to be pretty much ramblings, hodgepodge of what I've been doing, what I've been learning, what I've been seeing. And I just did a video on propaganda. You can check it out for yourself. I think it's rather interesting. So let's begin. I was guided to search for information on the 12 tribes of Israel. And the first thing I noticed when researching this was that three of the tribes share the same name as three of my family members. And of course, the first thing I'm thinking is coincidence, right? Yeah, sure. So, after that research, I decided to follow up on something that intrigued me recently. And that's my last video. You can check it out. You know, I'm noticing more and more when I observe things that other people don't even think of observing. Like when I'm watching something on the computer or the television, which is very rare anymore. I watch television, but I do. I look for things in the background. I look for just little things, and that's what led to my recent video. And they look at me and like, how did you see that? Why are you even looking for that? It's because that's what my observation has become now. That's what I look for. I don't look for the obvious. I look for the less obvious. And I've also noticed that people who are my friends, my local friends, granted they're very few, they're beginning to look into what I do now more and more and commenting on the videos I make, and they're beginning to see things, and they're beginning to awaken, They just took the red pill. And they're starting to come to me and ask questions. And remember, just a few weeks back I told you all that those of you who are isolated, who are feeling alone, to just hold fast a little bit longer, and things are going to start happening for you. And they're happening for me now. And I couldn't be happier about it. I was discussing my ideals with my father the other night. And, of course, my father, he's steeped in the old ways. He thinks that money must be. He thinks I'm making a grave mistake and that my mission will not succeed because I do not accept money to promote my idea. And I tell him it can be done, Dad. It's happening already. When I got started on YouTube, which was approximately, I believe, 9 days after, I woke up, my extremely life-changing awakening. In that very first video, I said, I don't care if I reach one person or if I reach a billion people. Even just one will make a difference. If I can enlighten one person and change one person's view or anything on life, enlighten them to the truth, then that's worthwhile for me. Since then, I've gained over 1,600 subs. I've never accepted a dollar for my work on YouTube, and I've never promoted my channel externally. I'm sure you all get the little inboxes that say, check out subforsub.com or blah 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 or whatever. I've never accepted any of those. And I've grown to 1,600 subs. And I'm willing to bet that most of the people on YouTube who promote the same videos that I do, their own ideals, cannot say that they do not promote their website externally. And I'll tell you all why. Because I believe that if you find my channel, if you find the knowledge that's to be found there and my ideals, then you found that for a reason. It was not because you were guided externally. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. And I'm noticing that more and more and more. The pressure is being turned up on me to gain income. And the pressure just continues to mount, and people just continue to look at me like, what's wrong with you, Matthew? What has become of you? I am that I am. And I'm sure you have all seen it as well. A good YouTube friend of mine just commented today, he was watching some of my older videos. And he said, it's really amazing to see the spiritual growth just over the last 9 months in my life. And I continue to tell everyone that I stay true to myself no matter what. And they keep saying, what's going to happen when your father and mother choose to not support you anymore? And I say, well, they're going to throw me out and I'm going to survive. I can live a happy life in luxury, or I can live a happy life in poverty. To me, it matters not. If I was freezing cold outside, starving to death, I would still be happy. Or if I was in a grand mansion and lived a materialistic life, I would be happy. But as many of you are aware, that's not the life for me. Let's see, continued ramblings. What's been going on in the world lately? Seismic activity continues, and volcanic activity continues, and abnormal weather patterns continue. I just beg all of you to look around you. Look for things you normally wouldn't see. Because it's all there. Everything is connected. I've spoken much about suppressed knowledge and forbidden knowledge. But the truth of it is, the knowledge is there. It is put out there. But until you have the tools and the know-how on how to study it and look for it, you won't see it at all. You'll see nothing. It seems that everywhere I look anymore, I see some kind of propaganda or symbolism. Everywhere I look. And it's really something, everybody. It's really something. I try to find the right words to explain it, but I'm finding more and more that most of the things I'm learning cannot be put into words. In many ways, I believe that written and spoken language is becoming a more and more inferior means of communication. And my calendar is making noises all of a sudden. Perhaps someone's there listening, who knows? In recent meditations, I'm finding more and more that I hear things, I see things. If I'm put in a dark room and begin meditating, I see colors everywhere. Just flashes of light. And I have no doubt it's because I'm becoming more multidimensional. And I'll tell you all now, as time continues to go on, linear time, the things that I speak about are going to get more and more, quote, out there. Many people are probably going to think that I really have lost my mind and I am talking about crazy things. But I can look at all of you and tell you that I am sincere. That's what I base my life upon, is trust, sincerity, and honesty. I can make a mistake, a terrible mistake, a life-changing mistake. And I can own up to it without a second doubt, no matter the consequences. And if you're listening to this video right now, then you are on the same plane of existence that I'm currently on. You're in my reality right now. And in this reality, there must always be conflict. That's just what I was talking with my father last night. He said, Matthew, there's always going to be conflict in this world. And I said, I know that. It's just like the symbolism of the Illuminati, the checkered floor. There's always going to be this and there's always going to be that in this dimension. There's always going to be good and evil. There's always going to be competition. There's always going to be comparison. But what a lot of people don't acknowledge is that the scales can be tipped to one side or the other. It still remains, but this is in a greater majority. And as I've said many times, for too long now the scales have been tipped in the favor of evil. And it's time that what is good and what is pure retains its majority on the scales. Because that simply is what this planetary school is. We come here to integrate all the good and all the bad. That is the meaning of life. That is why we incarnate here, is to integrate and to learn of this dense dimension. So, I think I'll wrap it up there, everybody. I love you all. I hope you're all well. And I hope that you will not dismiss my words before researching it yourself. Be well.